right, today we'll be talking about independent and dependent variables. So some of you may have already talked about this in science classes before, but it is also used in math. So the independent variable is the thing that causes the change in the dependent variable, so the thing that you're actually changing. The dependent variable is caused by the independent variable, okay? So if you make $10 an hour at work and you change the thing you have control over is how many hours you work. The outcome of how much hours you work is your dependent variable, which is the total amount of money that you're going to make. Okay, so we're going to look at some of these. We have a list of independent variables on the left and dependent variables on the right. We're going to see which ones go together. We're going to draw a line to match them. So I put a bunch of lines up here for you guys, and that's what we're going to use to match them. Okay, I'm going to move mine down here to the side just to make it a little bit easier for me. Okay. All right, so if we look at the first one, it is the amount of sunlight. So the amount of sunlight has an effect on how tall the plant is. So the amount of sunlight is what you can change because you can put the plant outside, you can put the plant inside, you can put it under a tree. So the amount of sunlight is what you can change, and that affects how tall the plant will grow. Okay, the next one is the time you spend studying. Well, the time you spend studying goes along with the grade you get on a test. If you don't spend any time studying, oops, uh-oh. If you don't spend any time studying, you're probably not going to do very well on your test. If you spend hours and hours and hours studying, then you're probably going to get a higher grade on your test. Especially in college, this is true. I remember spending hours and hours and hours studying for tests in college, and then ones that I didn't spend very much time on, I usually didn't do very good on. Okay, and we have two more down here. If you want to pause and try these on your own, you may. If you want to continue with me, you may also do that as well. All right, so we have the minutes spent exercising. So however long you spend exercising determines how many calories you're going to burn. If you only spend 5 minutes exercising, you're not going to burn very many calories. If you spend 5 hours exercising, you're going to burn a lot of calories. I know I need to exercise after all the Thanksgiving dinner I ate. All right, the number of tickets sold for a show goes with the amount of profit you make. So depending on if I sell 10 tickets or 1 ticket, that changes how much money I make from the show. Okay. All right. Moving on. So we're going to be able to graph using our independent and dependent variables. So if you notice your independent variable, the thing that you actually change, is always going to be on the x-axis. Okay, so it's always going to be down here on your x-axis. Your dependent variable, the outcome of whatever happens, is always going to be over here on your y-axis. So if we look at this picture or this situation here, it says Carly earns $9.50 for every hour she works. So the thing that you're changing is how many hours she works. So that is your independent variable. So in here, we're going to put hours worked. Okay. Your dependent variable is the outcome of that. So the outcome of that is the money she makes. So the money made. So depending on how many hours she works, will determine how much money she makes. Okay. You can show the relationship between the independent and dependent variable in a graph, like we just did at the top, in a graph, or in a table. So you can put the points in a graph or in a table. Okay, so just below here, we have a table. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit because I need to be able to see. Oh, that zoomed out a lot. Hold on. All right, I need to be able to see the graph and the table here. Okay, so it says she earned $9.50 for every hour she works. So if she works 1 hour, so remember our X is the hours, so I'm going to put hours right here, and our Y is the money. So if she works 1 hour, she makes $9.50. So we're going to put 9.50. We're going to keep going. If she works 2 hours, then she's going to make double that. So $9.50 times 2 will be $19. Oops. And then if she works 3 hours, we're going to add $9.50 to that because she earns $9.50 more. Or we can take $9.50 times 3. Either way, it gives us the same answer. And it would be $28.50. Okay. So now it's asking, what is the relationship between the independent and dependent variable? Well, the relationship is that for every hour Carly works, she makes, oops, $9.50. So basically all I did was reword what this question was up here. But sometimes you're not going to have this statement up here and you're going to have to do it based on your own table. Okay. And that is all you guys have today. So go ahead and go to your Schoology and complete your assignment for today.